Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this word in sincerity and truth on the four corners of the earth. All right, and I'm going to start in Zephaniah 3 and 8. All right, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. All right, and we know where Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to gather these nations over there in the Middle East. All right, in the recent news, all right, this year starting off pretty fast. All right, the year of prophecy. You know, it's starting off fast with this war. All right, with this World War III. You know, which is imminent. All right, you know, you see America. You know, in Iran, the tensions have turned into, death. You know, missiles being launched. You know, people being taken out. You know, you see it's moving pretty fast. So, you know, just another article that I seen on RT News says Pentagon says more than a dozen missiles launched from Iran against 2 U.S. bases vows necessary countermeasures. All right. Now, of course, they came with a counter. You know what I mean? Of course, Iran responded when, you know, one of the top generals, all right, one of the head in command over there, Soleimani, you know, was killed by a drone strike. All right. And this is the tensions, you know, building, man. All right, you see the pride of America. You know, when you see Donald Trump talk about these things, you know, in various interviews, you know, like the scriptures say, he had to look more stout than his fellows. You know, they ready. Of course, America are ready for war. You know, they've been in perpetual war. You know, since the foundation of this country. All right, since, you know, this country got established, man, America's been in war after war after war. And America has had its foot over there in the Middle East, you know, for decades. All right. So, you know, things are intensifying, man. Like the scriptures say, the third woe and the second woe has passed. The third woe cometh quickly. Things are, you know, really intensifying over there in the Middle East. All right. So now we know, you know, we're just waiting on, you know, the RFID microchip to be made mandatory, to be pushed on the people and made mandatory. And, you know, we one step closer, all right, to the end. All right. The scriptures say, you should hear wars, all right, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. You see, I believe it was an 8.1 that just hit over there in Puerto Rico. All right, the prophecies are coming to pass, man. All right, but I'm going to get into this article. It says the Pentagon said it would take necessary measures to defend U.S. troops, which is funny because you just, you know, killed one of their generals and now you're, you know, acting like you're on the defensive. But it says, it says necessary measures to defend U.S. troops and regional allies following reports of Iranian missile strikes on U.S. facilities in Iraq, confirming that over a dozen missiles were used in the attack. It says Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles against U.S. military and coalition forces in Iraq. It's clear that these missiles were launched from Iran and targeted at least 2 Iraqi military bases, the Pentagon said in a statement on Tuesday, adding that it was now working on initial battle damage assessments. It says, as we evaluate the situation and our response, we will take all necessary measures to protect and defend U.S. personnel, partners, and allies in the region. Which is, you know, what is the same thing that these Ishmaelites are doing. They're defending themselves. All right, you sunk your feet into their land and ain't left since you've been there, and now you're acting like you're on the defensive, man. All right. It says, and this is a tweet. It says, breaking U.S. Department of Defense issues statement in response to attacks on bases in Iraq. Statement from Assistant Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs Jonathan Hoffman. At approximately 5:30 p.m. on January 7th, Iran launched more than a dozen ballistic missiles against U.S. military and coalition forces in Iraq. It is clear that these missiles were launched from Iran and targeted at least 2 Iraqi military bases hosting U.S. military and coalition personnel of al-Assad and Erbil. It says we are working on the initial battle damage assessments in recent days and in response to Iranian threats and actions. The Department of Defense has taken all appropriate measures to safeguard our personnel and partners. These bases have been on high alert due to indications that the Iranian regime planned to attack our forces and interests in the region. As we evaluate the situation and our response, we will take all necessary measures to protect and defend U.S. personnel, partners, and allies in the region. Due to the dynamic nature of the situation, we will continue to provide updates as they become available. All right. So this is just another example of the third woe coming quickly, man. All right, America is at it again. Back in war. All right, but we know in this war, America is going to lose horribly. All right, because even the allies, you see the allies were mentioned in this article. They're going to turn on America as well. All right, matter of fact. Obadiah 1:7, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in them. All right. Now, to be confederate with someone means you're aligned with them. All right. You have a alliance with them. All right. So everybody that America has an alliance with, all right, that they're confederate with, will also turn against them. Will also turn against America and ultimately shoot missiles on this place. All right. This is the war. Like the apostle said, the year of prophecy. This is the war that's prophesied that America is going to lose, man. And when America loses this war, all right, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established on the earth, and the ruling class of people are going to be the Israelites, man. You Negro, Latino, Native, Seminole, Indian. All right, our nation is going to rule in the new world. All right. So I just wanted to get a quick update, on the war news. I hope it was edifying. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.